television that are only on the website.
That's right. We're actually having a big sale on our website right now with automatic watches. These are watches and collections that are actually different from the items you'll see in the show tonight. Yeah. But you should definitely check out our website every single day. I would recommend even signing up for the email blasts because you will be the first ones to know when these sales on our website go live. Lots to do. Tweet us if you're watching the show tonight at WowTVChat. You can also email us tv@WorldofWatches.com. We'll get your messages, your emails, your tweets.
All of the dot marker indices that have Swiss Superluminova. You'll see it on the hands. You'll see it on the marker indices. You have a date complication, but look at this. I'm going to tilt the watch just a touch. Notice the 12, 3, 6, and 9 are etched into the back of the Sapphotech crystal. You can't scratch it off. When Niso Barocas, our senior watch designer, was here, we asked him, why did you do that? He said, Wiley, when you put subdials on a watch, you often have to cut away the numbers. And you'll often see watches with partial numbers on there because the subdials have cut away that particular section. He said, I wanted clear, visible Arabic numerals, and the only way to do it was to etch them into the back of the Sapphotech crystal. It was absolute genius. Now, when you look straight on at the watch, you can't tell that the watch has a tachymeter. Tilt it just a touch and you can see the tachymeter scale come into view. Hit our pusher and look how easy it is to read the seconds and to use it for the tachymeter. A simple tilt of the watch reveals all of the numbers all the way around. So when you start and stop the watch, it's easy to read the measurements. Notice that our 6 o'clock position had a 1/10 of a second totaler. Now that tells me this is the ISA 8371C. Now there is the A, B, and C configuration in this ISA movement, and the C configuration has a 1/10 of a second totaler, and that's what you're seeing right there. There's our reset, and look at how smoothly that glides into place. Now, silicone strap, and there of course is the Swiss Legend shield. Looks wonderful. Notice you have the hexagonal bolts holding our lugs into place. Now let me put this watch on and then I'll show you one other variation, and then Miss Harris wants to show off a beautiful selection that she has tonight. Look at that. Now Megan, I want you to just take a look at the white, and after I show you both versions, tell me which one you like better. Here of course is the silver tone. We're only going to spend a few moments here because I want to get to the other version. Is the watch large? You better believe it. It's 50 millimeters, but it's a perfect fit. Look at that. No gapping, no spacing. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and this watch is a great fit. If you have a much larger wrist, don't worry. It's going to be a great fit on you too. There's a generous amount of strap. Look at that, in case you have a much larger wrist. Now, let me show you about 15-20 seconds of the other version, and you can tell me which one you like better. That is the silver. Let me show you.
I like this next one.
What is it? Why is it this one?
Because I think for the name, for the look, the aesthetic, calling it the Daredevil and then seeing it in triple black with the dial, the case, the strap, it just seems to work for me.
And I'm going to say the black just seems to wear a touch smaller. It all seems to be one piece. It wears almost like jewelry as much as it does a timepiece. Now, I want you to just take a look right there. Now, take a look. Now, by the way, that's a fixed bezel on this watch. And look at that. They're going to come in and give you a great shot of that. Again, the ISA 8371C movement. And you know what's great about this? Against that black dial, the red Swiss Legend shield just pops. Notice that everything in white just pops off of the black background. This is stunning. Hey, do we have lume on this? No way. There is no way you have lume. Now they have lume?
Awesome.
Thank you, Gregory, for doing the lume.
Nice you woke up for work.
So many funny things to say. I am so glad you have a lume shot of this hiding somewhere. See, there it is. There's the lume. No, they're pulling it up. I know that. Take a look at that. What do you think?
Nice. I like that it's lume on all of the hour markers, just about. You've got a few there, you know, at the 3, 6, and 9 where there isn't lume. But then you've got those bright, vibrant hands.
And a solid 100 meters of water resistance. By the way, Since we do have the Daredevil watch here, we've decided to show off our sexy beast of an assistant, Anthony's part-time model. Oh, well, that's okay. We could have done that. Oh, we have a new one?
This is for the Daredevil.
We have a commercial for the Daredevil,
That's
too?
right. Let's do it.
All right, show it. Props to Anthony. There are a lot of great looks in this watch, and you're going to love it on your wrist. Remember, new year, new watch. This is a great choice. I promise you're going to love it. In fact, we'll guarantee it, or we'll buy it back from you. Give you every penny back. We're going to pay for the shipping for it to come to you. We'll pay for the shipping for it to come back to us. Look at that. Look at how bold that is. Now, I have it on the hand, and Miss Harris, with her 6-inch wrist, is wearing that bold Daredevil.
That's right, because I wanted everybody out there to see that when watches are constructed with curved cases, you're able to get something that fits the wrist really, really comfortably and really, really well. Notice how the case is curved, and then that silicone strap, it comes right up to the case. So automatically, notice how it just wraps around the wrist.
Is it comfortable?
I was going to say, yes, it's very big, but it's really comfortable, actually. It's quite easy to get into. And I think it's because this silicone strap is very, very soft. It feels a little thinner. You know, sometimes rubber straps are just too stiff.
Yep.
This, though, is so slim. It's really easy to wear. So it's perfect. Like in that video with the guys that are surfing and whatnot, like these are the watches that you would wear to the beach while you were skiing, snowboarding. Like they're really, really comfortable. Between the silicone and the stainless steel, I mean, they're practically indestructible.
All right, folks, that's my choice for tonight. I hope it'll be yours. We still have quantity of Daredevil, and while we do, go ahead and get it, because this is a great watch to start out the new year.
All right, now my hot pick for the night, not a Daredevil, the exact opposite, perhaps the quintessential chick watch, 283056, the 40 millimeter Brinkley from Michael Kors. I made this my hot pick last night. I'm going at it again tonight. Michael Kors watches are designed to look like modified luxury timepieces, especially for ladies' watches. You know, you'll find that a lot of them are inspired designs from companies like Rolex, Omega, Breitling. That's what this reminds me of. This has a luxury look. In fact, I was saying last night, this feels like an inspired design from something we would see in the Chronomat collection. It's got that aviation-inspired look inside. You'll notice, and that's because you've got what appears to be on the inside ring there, a bit of that aviation design, almost like if it was a slide rule bezel. You've also got the 3 subdials at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. Almost sort of simulates what you would see if you were sitting inside the cockpit of a plane. Big date complication at the 12 o'clock. That's actually 2 date wheels. If you start the chronograph so you can see, it's not 1 date window. It's 2 individual wheels working in harmony together. Let me see if I can pop that and show you the date. So as the dates go, watch. So you'll get to the 9th and then watch how in tandem they both transfer over. The first one, of course, listed 0 through 3, and the second, of course, 0 through 9. But it's really cool to see that they sync up perfectly. You can actually see they're at separate levels there. That's how the wheels are. When you look at it this way, you don't notice that. Interesting. These are all channel set crystals meant to look like a diamond encrusted bezel. You've even got more crystals set to look like diamonds on the dial. Beautiful luxury look to this, and I love the shape of those crystals, almost like baguette diamonds. 2-tone here. Rose and silver tone, all beautifully mirror polished. I love the way it's married with that rich blue dial. Blue, of course, one of my favorite colors for watches. I always encourage gentlemen out there to have a watch with some blue on it, whether it's a strap or a dial, even hands, anything at all. I love blue. But this for a lady Girls, can you imagine wearing this to the office? It's perfect. I've got it with a blouse and a pair of jeans today. It works. And you know, sometimes Michael Kors watches, and we've got some tonight, feel really, really trendy, a bit fashion forward. This looks like a luxury watch. You wouldn't know until you were looking at the actual dial that it even is a Michael Kors watch. So I like that. It looks a bit more expensive even than some of the other more high fashion ones. 283056 is the item number. $189.99 is the price. Use the payments. Remember, you can call customer service right now to get the payments, and we are extending the prices because of the holiday weekend until tomorrow at midnight. 283056.
Your choice looks a lot like the Maurice Lacroix that you absolutely love with the mother of pearl dial and all the diamonds.
Oh, the Miros,
but
I know
it's a slightly higher price point than your hot pick tonight.
Want to say hi to our friend David, who's watching right now. Has just sent us a message on Twitter. He said he was sorry he missed the show yesterday. He had to work last night. It's okay, David. We were working too. No hard feelings.
I think it's kind of cute when people call, I'm sorry I missed you.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That just shows the level of fear I've instilled in both my colleagues and my viewers. Keeping it up. I'm not changing.
Thank you, Miss Harris. May I have another? All right, let's take a look at the 46 millimeter Transway. I want you to see a watch that from the moment we introduced this, what did we say, a year or so ago?
Yeah,
maybe?
actually, yeah.
It became a runaway hit. I mean, everybody went, oh, that's a nice watch. But you in the watch world, I mean, I guess we see so many watches, it's hard to know where the bullseye is going to be. It's why we produce so many different designs, styles, colors, configurations, because we want to hit your bullseye, not always ours. I mean, it's not our taste. We want to meet yours. This one did it. And whether it's in the silver case, the gold case, and there are so many other varieties. Look at that beating heart. And instead of, usually when you have an open heart configuration, there's something very classic about the watch. It maybe looks very vintage. Well, they upped it in size. They took away all vintage feel from the size by putting it 46 millimeters. Then they gave all of this texturing, a splash of color, stick marker indices, and high mirror polish, along with the hand-applied Arabic 12 at the 12 o'clock position. And then just a little bit of a showing off with the nomenclature for Lucien Piccard, 1923. They gave all of this and then drop the price right into the basement. Now look at that. Notice that this watch will never require a battery. Why? Because there is a rotor. This is an automatic watch. Now if you've ever had a wind-up clock, wind-up watch, then you know you have to manually wind it. Not this way. You could if you chose, but the motion of your body causes that rotor to spin. Notice what it's doing right there. Every time it makes a revolution, it's putting kinetic energy into the mainspring. It's converting it, and it's waiting to be used so that that balance wheel can do its job. And yes, that exhibition window in the back allows you to see all the way to the front of the watch. 316L stainless steel, 50 meters of water resistance, beautiful Croco embossed, genuine leather strap, and an awful lot of style. I'm going to put this on the wrist for just a few seconds so you can see the silver tone on my wrist. Then I'm going to show you a version that I really, really love. For daily wear, this is certainly one that you can get away with because it's so versatile. Now, take a look at another variety that's an 18-karat gold plating over stainless steel, but this time with a brown Croco embossed genuine leather strap and a gold case. That gold plating looks stunning on there. Look at this. Now, doesn't this dress up well with what I'm wearing tonight with a splash of color here and there? Look at that. Look at how beautiful that looks. And all the way to the case back and to the dual pry-apart deployant, all covered in 18-karat gold. And of course, there is the Lucien Piccard logo and name etched right into the buckle. They didn't just pull it off the shelf. They used a custom buckle. That all adds value. I assure you, you will not find, I mean, even though you can find Lucien Piccard other places, we make it. There is no middleman here. It's literally shipped straight to us here in South Florida to our corporate headquarters and warehouse and vault, and then it's sent directly from here to you. Look at that, $79.99. Both varieties available tonight, free shipping, and 5 stress-free, interest-free payments. We think that's a great deal. Now, if you want to see, we had some folks that inquired about this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. 350015. I got an email from one of our friends and viewers, Tony, out there. Tony, I hope you're watching right now. He wanted to see the 44 millimeter Big Crown, and we've got it, so we're airing it right now. That's what happens when you tweet and email us. We'll try and get those watches on air as soon as we can.
Folks, this is the benefit of live television and being very responsive to our audience. Now, I think when you see this and you realize, wow, this is such a good-looking watch. This is a 26 jewel automatic. It has on the inside the Oris 733. Now, the front crystal is sapphire. The watch has 100 meters of water resistance. I want you to take a look at it. Now, Megan, this is such a good-looking watch.
That's right. It's cool because the Oris Big Crown, this is one of those perfect sport luxury timepieces. You know, it's got that luxury look, it's got the luxury name, but I think the overall aesthetic is also perfect if you're just kicking back with a pair of jeans on the weekend. And the Big Crown collection was actually originally created in 1938. And that was when Oris first produced a pilot-style watch with, as the name suggests, an oversized crown. And now it's actually known as Oris Signature. And what I really appreciate is inside, I know you were talking about the movement a moment ago, it's the Oris 733. That's a base Sellita SW200.
Really?
A lot of people think that, oh, a brand like Oris, why would they be using Sellita over Etta? It is just as good. A lot of companies would consider them interchangeable. And you know what's nice is even if you go to the Oris website, they themselves admit, you know, sometimes if you go to luxury websites, they'll just list what the movement caliber is in their own terms. You sort of have to do some digging to get them to, you know, figure out, oh, what is, you know, the base Raymond Weil really or whatnot. With Oris, they put it on their own site. It's a base Sellita SW200. So I think it also speaks to them really being a no-nonsense kind of company.
Well, and they also take pride in using a watch movement that is so well tested. I mean, you ever question why don't they build things like they used to? You know, folks who bought a washing machine 40 years ago, that washing machine may still be working. If you buy a new one, you're lucky to get a few years out of it. And you're wondering, why did I pay $800 for that thing when it breaks down? I think they're made to break down. I'm telling you right now, Oris is selecting the movements like the Sellita SW200, the SW500, the Valjoux movements. There's certain movements out there that are known for their durability, their reliability. Why would you remake the wheel?
Exactly.
This is gorgeous. Let me show it to you on the wrist. We're just going to do it just for a second because you need to see this, and we'll hop back into our regularly scheduled program. What do you think, Miss Harris? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
It's dark. It's mysterious. I love.
I love gunmetal.
Yeah,
I love the gunmetal.
And look at the price point. It was $1,750, marked down to $1,199. But for the show, $499, right under $500, and then we put it on 4 stress-free, interest-free payments. If you're just joining us, a stress-free payment is you make your first payment on a credit card of whatever the number is next to the number there, the 4, this time $125. We send you the watch right away. You make the remainder of those payments on stress-free payments with no interest, no credit check, no paperwork to sign, and you still don't pay any shipping. Guess what, folks? Even if you change your mind with a stress-free payment, we'll send the watch back, and we'll pay for that, and we'll give you every penny back. 350015, the Oris Big Crown. What a great choice. Thanks for asking about that.
All right, Tony, hope you caught that.
All right, let's go to something with a lot of style, but very little money out of pocket. I want you to see this 20 jewel automatic. This is the Babylon. And you're going to love how the dial just looks like it is on fire. I mean, look at that. Megan, I mean, every facet in there catches light. So even though there are no jewels on this watch, you're going to have a hard time not drawing somebody's attention in. Now, that's considered a guilloche dial. Guilloche is a watch and architectural term for repeating pattern. And there are hand-done guilloche, and there is machined guilloche. And what you're seeing is that beautiful guilloche dial, the open heart configuration with a flying bridge right there with 2 functioning bolts holding the balance wheel in place. You have an animated AM/PM indicator, as well as the hour-minute continuously operating sweep hand, and a lot of style. Let me show you the back of the watch, because this also has an exhibition back, and this is a dual pry-apart deployant. Easy to do when you need to, but secure when you leave it on the wrist. Look at the decorated rotor, that's the part right here. And those lines are called Côte de Genève. That's the Geneva waves, and that is part of the watchmaker's decoration. Why do they do that? They're just showing off. They like to show you that they gave attention even to the back of the watch, which the only person that's going to see that's you. Understand that Lucien Piccard watches are made for you. It's for you to appreciate the beauty and the detail. You're never going to have to buy a battery. That rotor's going to wind the mainspring, and that's going to power the watch. And you can see the movement even from the back. Flipping it back over, get another great view. There's the side and that convex crystal. That's Sapphitech. Sapphitech crystal is one of the hardest crystals in the watch world. Don't have to worry about scratching that. That is super hard. Now, can you scratch it? Yes, you can. I don't want to know what you have to do to scratch it. Normal wear and tear, you should not see scratching and abrasions on it. If you happen to face plant into a wall, I can't guarantee that it won't scratch. But then again, you'll probably be in the hospital. Take a look at that. It's true. $79.99. I like that. Do we have another variety of this? Because I'm going to show you this one on the wrist real quick, and I think we may actually have another selection. Maybe we can just show them on screen in a moment. I'll show you the silver, and I think we have its dressed up brother that's going to pop out here. That's my favorite version. Look at that. Megan, you can't tell me that's not a gorgeous one.
Oh, that is my favorite. You know I'm a sucker for black and rose, and this just makes it look like how you would describe the coffee table book. Right there.
This looks like if you took a 20 by 30 oversized coffee table book that you would find in Restoration Hardware, and you put this on the cover.
It'd be like the kind of thing you want to give as a gift to somebody.
Oh
or
my
receive.
goodness, how many thousands of dollars is that? Folks, here's the guarantee. If we overinflate how nice this watch looks, you get it home and it feels plasticky and garbagey, you guess what? It's not going to go over well, because we have to pay for it to come to you and come back. We're always honest. If Megan and I like it, we'll tell you. And if we don't, we're going to tell you. Like the shorts that Greg's wearing. What was he thinking? But
he doesn't.
No, that's fine, I'm sure. But I want you, let's go back. I'm going to show you a bestseller so far that's popped up.
Now, okay, we're just finding out right now that, guys, people are calling and picking up the Daredevil right now. Item number 343790. This is going so fast. We just received word. We're already down to less than 1 per state of the all black.
How?
Already down to less than 1 per state of the all black Daredevil.
Folks,
this is a world debut of this color combination.
And that's telling you how well it is selling right now, because literally, I mean,
we're less than 1 per state.
Yeah, a truck backs up and delivers these things. And because this is Swiss made, this is made in Lugano, Switzerland. Look it up on the map. It's a southern part of Switzerland, very close to where Italy is. And you're going to love, in fact, most of the people in Lugano speak Italian. Now, I think it looks great.
This is a brand new collection. You've got the Swiss made ISA movement inside. This is a watch that, if you like the look of these Swiss legends, but maybe some of them feel a bit too big, a bit too bulky, maybe the cases are too tall. This one, so slimline. It's actually quite shocking. I noticed when I put it on that it's really a big looking watch, but it doesn't wear so ginormous on the wrist.
Ginormous?
Ginormous?
No. This is Tiny-topia.
But look, coming to a close shot, if we're able to, please. I want you to see the different levels of the case and the bezel. It's a multi-piece case and bezel design, and yet it's still so slim.
Well, usually when you have these very bold sizes, they love to not only do the diameter, but the height of the watch to make it more proportionate. You don't want to look like you have a pie plate on there, so they have to add height. Well, this time they've made it with such perfect proportions that the watch, even though it's 50 millimeters, hey, have you always wanted that slightly oversized watch which you're like, I don't want something cartoonish, I want something very trendy, I want something that's very fashion forward right now, but I don't want the watch I'm going to be saddled with in 6 months, I'm going to regret it. You won't. Here's the deal. Get this watch home. Put the $37.50 down. Get the watch home. We guarantee that you'll love it, or you can send the watch back on our nickel, and we'll give you every penny back. And here's what Megan was talking about. Look, it almost looks like a gear right here, like the Daredevil. Whatever equipment is making the Daredevil a Daredevil, this is the gear that holds it all together.
Do you see how you've actually got the raised numerals on that lower piece of the bezel? You see that right there? That's really cool. You've got it all done in increments. Notice how you've got 1, 2, but then it goes to 15, 30. It's at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. You get that multiple of 5 there because that's where on the crystal you've got 3, 6, and 9. So on the outside you've got 1, 2 stainless steel. Crystal is 3, 4, 5 back on the case there, 6 on the crystal. Do you see how that goes all the way around?
I think it's very cool. They've given you all the types of counts that you need, whether traditional seconds and minutes and stick marker indices, whether you need the Arabic numerals, or whether you need it in what's called seconds or minutes increments of 5. They're all still there. And I think you're going to love it. This watch is selling out. If you're even remotely interested, go ahead and get it. Listen, shop with confidence. If you change your mind, you can send it back. Once they're gone, they're gone. And if we do get another shipment, it's often at a different price point. So we don't want you to miss out on. I have friends that write me all the time that say, can you tell me when this watch is coming up to a stress-free payment? Can you tell me when this is going? Because even though our prices can be good when they're on the show, they're the best.
That's right.
And you also get to take advantage of the stress-free payments. Now, we're going to show you another watch with a lot. I own this watch.
Oh, that's right. You do own this next watch.
And it's one of the only triple open hearts that we make. As you come in, that's a good shot right there. I want you to take a look. Notice that you have 2 barrels with crescent moon or boomerang shaped bridges holding them in place. Now these are actually part of your balance wheels. You have 2 that are running simultaneously. You also have another open barrel right here showing you one of the gears being held in place by its own bridge. At the very top of the watch, you happen to have a 2-hand configuration with a little bit of Swiss Superluminova that's giving you the primary time. And in the center, your small seconds have been separated to its own pin, and you can see it running right now. And you can look into the Cosmos, and I want you to just see how the dial itself is slightly concave and how it has that beautiful pattern in it. Now, for those of you that also need another beauty shot, take a look at that right there. Perlage decoration. Perlage means pearl-like, and you can see those pearl-like swirls. You can see the Côte de Genève or the Geneva waves right there. And look at that. The simple motion of your body causes that rotor to rotate. That powers the mainspring, which causes those balance wheels to move. That's also beginning your measurement of time. All right, look at that. We only got a few more seconds left. $26 gets it home. Look at that on the wrist. By the way, this comes in a variety of colors, styles, configurations. Mine at home happens to be in the 18-karat gold plating, and it is stunning. I rarely wear it without getting a compliment. 301613, the 45mm Cosmos. And there it is in gold. That's what I own, and let me tell you, that watch looks like $1,000,000. Nobody will know that you paid $129.99. It's coming to you in just a few days. Hey, listen, new watch, new year. And by request from the lovely and talented Miss Harris, our special guest tonight, Daniel Wellington. Let's welcome him to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. This is a watch. Take a look at this. Megan wanted this. She said, even before the show began, she said, we've got to have this watch on the show. And you're right. Did you know, I just read an article that Daniel Wellington, you know, a lot of watches are not doing so well in the watch
That's
world.
right, okay.
But Daniel Wellington is knocking it out of the park. In fact, it made a huge news article that the simple design and the elegance of the interchangeable strap has caught everybody's attention, and they love it. And Daniel, listen, good company to invest in.
You know what's amazing is, it's kind of true. This is a style that if you know anything about the Daniel Wellington brand, this is a collection and a company overall where just about every single one of their cases is identical. Now you can find different platings. You can find some that have rose or yellow gold tone. Sometimes they do a black dial rather than the silver and the white combo we've got here. But they are all slimline. They all have the same dial layout, which is the two hands, the stick hour markers, and then the Daniel Wellington logo, which again, everything is very streamlined on a watch like this. And as Wiley said, the cool thing about it, and this is across the board for the entire company of Daniel Wellington, every single case can be swapped out with different straps. Every single one. And that, to me, I think really speaks, Wiley, to part of the reason why this is a company that does so well, because you get all that interchangeability, because it's suitable for a gentleman or a lady. Because if this sort of all-American look here with the red, white, and blue nylon strap is too much for you, or too preppy, or too colorful, or you're not into it, or you're not American, you don't care, here, you can simply...
Did you just say un-American?
I said you're not un-American, like maybe you don't want like an American flag watch.
Maybe that's French.
I was thinking French, actually, it's funny. Or Britain, anything like that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't like the look, you go and you get the leather strap, or you get a different nylon one. What I like, honestly, about buying a Daniel Wellington with us is that you could essentially spend half the amount of money with us and then go to a Daniel Wellington retailer and pick up a strap and have a completely different look and still not crack the list price of what it would cost to buy this exact watch in stores. Low profile, easy to wear. Quantity is very limited on Daniel Wellington. Remember, the stress-free payment option is still available this weekend. If it's not showing up for you on the website, all you've got to do is call customer service. And because it's a holiday weekend, we have extended prices until midnight tomorrow night. Now, we've moved on to a different collection from Daniel Wellington.
I like this one a lot.
I like this one too. It's smaller. This is about a 35 millimeter, 36 millimeter. Notice how it's all a satin brush, or really a matte finish on that stainless steel. So instead of doing a polished rose gold plating, they do that matte finish all the way around. Here you can see, that's how all the cases are designed, so you're able to just slide the straps right off. But this strap I like a lot. It's actually one of my favorites. And that's because it's nylon, and then check out how it's got leather on the ends of it. In fact, where the buckle actually is, it's leather. There's something about this that feels very collegiate, kind of prep school, but also a bit equestrian as well. Yeah, kind of like the guys, our director's saying like those guys from the show Glee. Absolutely. It's got that sort of like preppy look, but also I see kind of like that equestrian look, sort of that Western tie-in there. Again, easy to wear on the wrist. This one in the Amy collection, obviously geared for the fair sex out there, as it is a smaller case. But if you like the look of that 41 millimeter, ladies, we both can get into that style. 312101. This is the Amy, 4 payments of $26.25.
That looks really nice. Megan, where would you wear this? Before we leave this watch, where would you wear this watch?
I wear it every day. I don't think I would dress up with the watch very much, but maybe a crisp button-down shirt and a pair of jeans, you know, like a classic look like that. But honestly, every day on the weekends, I would wear this.
Now, if you want to see a watch that is very wearable every day, now, I've got to be real careful. I'm going to get myself in trouble. You know, I did a lot of watch videos today for U-Boat.
Oh, you know what? I actually gave you the wrong one. This is the one for the item number. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Okay, but you know, both of them are, but these watches are just the same watch in different colors. So it's okay for you to see both of them. Folks, U-Boat, which is a completely different brand, a very expensive watch, they love to take this classic kind of beveled edge and then use a canteen-style protector over the crown. And those watches are very collectible. They usually have modified Valjoux 7750 movements. They're very, very expensive. Here is the way to get the look. Now, Megan, you and I both know watch collectors, yes? They look for specific movements, specific items, and then there's people that just like the look. They don't care what the watch costs. I just want the look. Well, here is a watch from Lancaster, Italy, with the look. Now, Megan, this is one of the watches I talked about earlier, Lancaster, Italy, that has 100 meters of water resistance. Now, don't fret. I know you like the 300. But because the average diver only goes down 40 meters, this watch still has you covered at 100. Now, I'm going to slip it on the wrist. I want you to take a look. By the way, super soft and supple strap. Miss Harris, would you suit up with that other one?
Absolutely.
I just want folks to see. Now, by the way, what I'm wearing tonight, the gold in this really pops with the bright colors in my shirt. And I think this just stands out. I love the 18-karat gold plating over stainless steel. I love the fact there's a generous amount of strap. It's 45 millimeters. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. It's a great fit. Miss Harris has a 6-inch wrist. And yes, we gave you a sneak peek of the all-black version. Take a look. She's now suited up with that one. You can tell me which one you like better.
You know, it's amazing that these watches really do fit both of us so well. And what's nice also is it kind of goes back to the Daredevil with the silicone strap. Because it's so soft, it's really, really pliable. I was kind of worried at first with this, being that it is a thicker case. And notice there's no curvature on it. It's just a case sitting right on the wrist. I was a bit worried that maybe the strap, if it was stiff, this would be really uncomfortable. But it is so easy to wear something like this. And it's got that bold look that reminds me a bit of U-Boat and DW Steel.
Yep, absolutely.
That sort of modified Russian diver style. Years ago, Swiss Legend had the submersible. That was a really cool watch, and it was the same sort of look, and people loved it because you had the oversized canteen-style crown protector. You got that wide dial opening in there. I love here also the drama, the really, really big 12 and 6 o'clock positions. 328496. Of the two, this is definitely the sporty one. The one that you've got on in the rose, that looks like a solid brick of rose gold.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they've done a great job by not gilding the lily here. They could have done so much to this watch to over-decorate it. Instead, it's decorated like a tasteful solid gold watch. And it has that look. You're absolutely right. Now, one of the things that Megan and I see down here in Miami as we are in our palatial mansion is, you know,
Sure.
let's just go with it, is we see a lot of high-end sports cars.
Absolutely,
is there
that's true.
really very few days that go by that you don't see a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Bentley, a Rolls Royce? And
No.
that's just,
That's just in the gym parking lot.
it's the truth. Am I right
It
or
is,
wrong?
yeah. No, that's absolutely true.
This has the look. Think of the racing stripes. Think of the look of a high-end race car.
It looks custom like that. It's so true.
And you know, you see those race cars, you see those high-end supercars in super bright yellow. You can see them in that fire engine red. You'll see them in orange.
Oh, orange is a good one, the blue. Yeah.
Vibrant green, a viper green. This is that watch that just wants to show off that it is built to go wherever you are. Now, notice that you happen to have gunmetal IP plating on the 316L stainless steel case. This watch indeed does have 300 meters of water resistance. That tells you how tough it is. There's anti-reflective coating built into that crystal. The quartz movement, reliable and accurate to within 10 seconds per month. Simply hitting that pusher right there is going to start our chronograph, and you can see it come into play right there at the 6 o'clock position. There's our start, our stop, and our reset. And notice the splash of orange that's going against that beautiful shade of blue. is also there at the 9 o'clock position for the minute totaler. You have a 24-hour indicator as well as an expanded date wheel that gives you a bit of a glimpse of the inner workings of the watch. All of the white that you're seeing that's going around the hour indices and on the hands is Swiss Superluminova, and that's going to allow you to see that watch. If you step outside at night or into a dark theater, you can still see what time it is. Let me show you the watch on the wrist, and you can tell me what you think. I think you're going to love it. Now, this watch comes in a variety of colors and styles. Maybe the blue and orange is too much for you. Don't worry, we have other varieties of it. I want you to check it out on our website to see if one of them is the right one for you. Boy, I didn't realize how much this color I had in my shirt until I put this on. Take a look at that.
This reminds me of that college as well with these color combination right here.
And am I just speaking out of turn to say graduation for those universities?
That's absolutely true. It may be like even a high schooler going there for college or graduating from college.
Yeah, this is one of those that you have an opportunity to get it early. Don't wait, because these will not stick around. We do not always have Lancaster, Italy, and certainly not at this price, not at $99. Now, if this is too much for you, let me show you the Freedom, this time on nylon strap. And this is kind of a NATO style strap, and I think you're going to really appreciate how, look at that.
Yeah, this is cool because it's very, very pared down now. It's dark, it's aggressive, it's black, it's gunmetal, and then you've got a nylon and gray strap on there. So you've got this completely different look color-wise, and then the fact that the strap is so different, it adds a little bit of extra to it, I think. I like nylon straps. I know some people don't like them, but I actually really do.
That's what I've heard. Now, I want you to take a look just for a moment, and I want you to just see how comfortable this is, not only on the hand, but on the wrist. Now, look at that. Megan was saying that there's just something about some watches out there that use the NATO-style strap or the nylon strap. It feels very adventuresome. It feels like you're getting ready to backpack across Europe. You're getting ready to head off somewhere, and you like a watch that's machine washable. And again, with 300 meters of water resistance, and literally, if you did dirty this up, not too difficult to just slip that strap right off there. Look at that. That slides right out. No problem whatsoever taking this off without any tools whatsoever. Now, the great thing about that is you can interchange these straps and get some others, or you can get the silicone like you saw earlier. Now I'm going to slide that right back into place because I want to slip this on the wrist in just a second so you can see how well that wears. Now all you have to do is simply, place this through there as you would traditionally. And Miss Harris, I may need just a little help here. We'll see if that's a new strap. Would you slide that right through there for me?
Absolutely.
Now watch, once that goes into place, once you size that to your size wrist, and I'm going to lock that right there. Now look, there's a lot of extra strap. What do I do with it? You're going to run it through there, and that's going to give you a great look, but watch this. If you run it back this way, it kind of is like if you've ever gone backpacking and you've ever had to lace up the backpack with the straps, it does the same thing. It gives a great look. Look at that on the wrist. This to me just looks so good. It's always going to be a great fit because of the way you can size the strap. Knowing that strap, if it did get dirty, let's say you went out there and you got mud on it, you could drop it in the washing machine. Of course, take the watch off, you do want to do that. And of course, you do get all of the features before: 300 meters of water resistance, the 3-eye chronograph, the expanded date wheel, all of that with such a great look on that watch. Isn't it beautiful? Under $100, $99.99, $33 gets it home. By the way, this also comes in a variety of colors, styles, and configurations. Check the website. You're going to find your new watch for the new year.
Now moving on, we're going to do some brand new styles, a brand new collection here from Wenger, 349841. Interestingly enough, Wenger is one of two companies that actually manufactured Swiss Army knives. And yes. Wenger was acquired by their rival Victorinox, which we air a lot on the program, in 2005. And since then, Wenger and Victorinox are integrated together as Swiss Army knives, but the brand Wenger, that's how it's pronounced, as I learned last night from Wiley, This remains for watches and some of their other licensed products and whatnot. So the history of the brand is actually very closely linked to Swiss Army knives. That's why you'll notice a lot of that sort of military design throughout, the uses of red, the shield style logo at the 12 o'clock position. Now, this is a Swiss-made watch overall, and much like Victorinox Swiss Army, they are on the more affordable end, this one being $340 retail. Not, you know, when we're used to saying Swiss-made watches, we expect them to be 10 times the price at times. Inside is a Swiss-made Ronda quartz chronograph movement. You can actually use this in your chronograph to time something for your chronograph for up to a full 12 hours, believe it or not. That's your 30-minute short time totalizer right over there. I love this very aggressive bezel. You saw that I was manipulating that and sort of turning it around. And what's interesting is it has all of the appearance of being a fixed bezel, but it is a unidirectional bezel, so it's great if you're going to go out and swimming and diving. You want to use that. Now check out the case back. How cool is that? Genuine Swiss Army knife engraved right there into the case back. As you can see, you've got a sapphire-coated mineral crystal, so you get great scratch resistance and hardness on that crystal. Check out the strap. Again, we see a lot more of that sort of Swiss Army influence in there, from the logo on the bright orange strap, even on the buckle. Now, this is a 45 millimeter. Obviously, we're talking about a bright, bold color combo and design overall. I've got a 6-inch wrist. I've cinched it down to the tightest closure. I will pass it over to Wiley to try on in just a moment, because I think you guys should see it on both of us. We've never aired the Roadster before, and this really does have that fun hot rod color combo to it. Of course, the bright orange. The rest of the case, obviously very classic. In fact, if you didn't really like the orange or you got sick of it, you could very easily just purchase an additional silicone strap. It doesn't even have to be, you know, Wenger Swiss Army strap, but you could get maybe a black strap and just throw that on, or even a NATO strap would be really cool. So what I like is that a lot of times with World of Watches, we might save you additional money. Like in this case, we're saving you more than 50% off. So maybe you could use that extra cash back in your pocket to get a strap, to get some new accessories for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, these watches are made in Delamont, Switzerland. And you know, there's only about 12,000 people that live in that little, it's actually the capital of the canton of Jura in Switzerland. But that small little town, those are the folks where the corporate headquarters and the factories for Wenger watches are. So you're talking about, I just see little people cobbling these watches, you know. You're not talking about some, you know, factory somewhere. Wouldn't you describe that some of these high-end Swiss watch manufacturers are more like laboratories than they are, you know, factories?
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, I think it's because becoming a Swiss watch manufacturer is such a revered profession to have that it's not seen as, oh, somebody working in a factory, like very blue collar style. I mean, it's a very, very high end. Yeah, the schooling for it alone.
Folks, that's what's coming to you for $119. Now, if this isn't the right watch for you, maybe the colors are too bold, let me show you a few other selections. And the next one, Miss Harris is going to drop her teeth.
The big old dog tweeted in, because he loves orange watches, that orange is the new blue.
Look at this.
Oh, this I like.
I mean, just that strap, it's in a soft, almost kind of a velvety finish.
This is the Escort.
Well, Daniel is so well acquainted. I want you to take just a look for a moment at the Escort in light brown. This watch is ready to escort
Sounds like we're talking about something completely different.
Well, I'm just reading the notes. And I want you to take a look. Now look at the multi-piece case. You notice that the bezel right there is in high mirror polish, yet the sides of the watch are in satin finish. It's
kind of an interesting case overall, too. It's not quite a cushion, not quite a tonneau, but do you see that it sort of has those inspirations of being a cushion shape on the side,
yes,
the slightly rounded edges, but it's not a square, so you can't call it a cushion. It's got kind of I don't know, like a submarine sort of feel to it.
Well, there is multiple pieces to it. By the way, there's the screw down back. And by the way, just in case you need to know that they have their Swiss Army knife heritage.
I know, I like that.
Isn't that great? Sapphire coated crystal, which means you have the durability and flexibility of a mineral crystal with a sapphire coating to help add that scratch resistance. The watch is all Swiss made in Delamont, Switzerland, 100 meters of water resistance. And look at that beautiful strap. Now, what do you think is going to happen with this strap over time? It's going to take on the patina of those people who wear it. It's going to darken over time. It's going to begin to tell its own story like a leather jacket. In fact, the next variation of the watch you may like even better. But I happen to like the lighter variation just for that very reason of how that strap is going to change over time. Everybody's will arrive brand new, bright and shiny. What you do with it over time is going to determine a lot. And I think you're going to love the look. You're going to love how this wears. You're going to love the construction, but mostly I think you're going to love the price. Look at it. It's $265 marked down to $79. This is brand new in the box. I mean, Megan, it's a Swiss-made watch for under $80. I mean, is that, am I the only one here? That's amazing.
That's the price of a quartz, not great, not Swiss-made kiosk watch. And yet we've got a $265 Wenger for $80. Now, okay, the next color combo, this is the one that I would get of the two.
I would have picked the lighter one.
Really? No way. Look at this case. First of all, look at this case. It's all a matte bead blast. Oh, we need to clean that crystal. It's all a matte bead blasted finish on a gunmetal plated crystal. And then notice the subtle, subtle sheen of the gunmetal dial, and then show that strap off, Wiley.
Would you push my crown in, please?
Should I straighten it as well? Look at the strap. Show them the strap color.
Oh, look at that.
How awesome is this watch? I gotta tell you, this might be my favorite watch of the show.
Gasp.
I'm being serious. I want to try this on when you're done.
Folks, I'm going to go from my hairy arm to the lovely and talented arm.
Blonde hairy arm.
That happens here. But I just want you to take a look. Now, two varieties. You can
Oh my God, I love this. And the leather's like a suede leather.
That's exactly right. And it's going, again.
Oh, wow.
Comfortable.
Incredibly comfortable. Wears like a 42.5 millimeter. So it's a nice size, not too big. It is, I'm going to call it a cushion shaped case. I suppose that would be the closest thing to it. Dan tweets in that the Wenger watches look great. This one of the two is the best. I am so excited. I have never seen these before. I mean, whichever way you go, you can't lose. This is definitely a more classic look. This is for the guy that wants something a bit darker overall. Suede leather. Check out the matte finishing on the case here. Notice how slim it is too. You see how it's got like very geometric edges to it, how it just wraps around. I have a 6-inch wrist. It fits me perfectly. Matte finish on a gunmetal plated case and bezel, and then just a subtle sheen for contrast in that dial. I'm going crazy for this watch. This is my favorite watch. We have never aired this collection. We've never had the Escort on our program before.
Well, there was that New Year's show. I want you to just take a look at a moment, because one more time, the watch that's below that, to me, it looks like Indiana Jones's watch.
Yes, this
Either
one.
one of them. They both
too.
have that rugged look to them, like they're ready to go on an adventure. Both of these are still available. If the orange Wenger that you saw earlier was too much, how about these great vintage styles that have such a great feel? And at a price, Delamont, Switzerland, to you, for under $80.
349-843. Get the Escort while it's hot. And on stress-free payments.
Wow, an Escort on stress-free payments.
Can you imagine?
I can't.
How about the Edge Index?
Really?
Now we're going a little flashy.
This is nice.
I'm loving these Wengers.
Wenger. Okay.
My landlord is German. He lives in Berlin, and whenever he text messages me, he actually, instead of using the word the, he'll write Z, Z-E-E. Like, do you mind if I come by Z apartment? I swear to God.
That's funny.
It's cute. I love him. Hi, Paul.
Guten Tag, Paul.
349-852. Oh, two variations of
Now,
the
do
Wenger.
you want to do the which one? Two-tone first? Oh, I'm flashing
No,
gold.
you've got the right one.
But see, that says. Okay, good. Good. Because I thought
Good, you can read.
Okay, the picture looked like it was the two-tone. Take a look at this. This is beautiful. It looks like a solid gold watch, and it certainly has a feel that the moment you pick it up, you can tell that their Swiss hands have been here. Once again, here's 18 karat gold plating over stainless steel. I want you to look at that dial. It's almost like a tiger's eye. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this is that watch that obviously is a bit more dressy, but it has such a high-end look and feel to it. You have a lock that allows that to make sure this doesn't accidentally open. It's 43 millimeters, 100 meters of water resistance. The Ronda 515 movement is in there. This watch stands out from the crowd. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now, I'm going to put that on the wrist. I want you to see, look at that. With what I'm wearing right now, I'm ready to go out. This watch, I would be proud to wear. You'll be proud to have this watch on your wrist. Here you have a Swiss-made watch by a well-known Swiss company, also from Delamont, Switzerland. And you have that beautiful, unusual brown dial. I can't say brown. It's so iridescent in how the light plays off of it. The stick marker indices look great. You have a date complication, 3-hand with the hour, minute, continuously operating sweep band, and Swiss Superluminova on the hands. Now, this is one variety.
Wait until, I'm going to pass this back to you because when you see the dial color, this is going to be your favorite. Look at this rich green.
My goodness. Look at this.
It's almost like an emerald, Wiley.
This is gorgeous. Now, Megan is about to give you the lecture on why you need two-tone.
You need a two-tone watch, people. Maximum versatility. One, it's always, in my opinion, going to be perfect for a luxury watch, even if you've just got one two-tone watch in your collection. And certainly, getting a Swiss-made watch for under $100 in a two-tone, you're firing on all cylinders here. Part of the reason is because it innately looks dressier, and yet it doesn't feel too overdone. Whereas if this was all entirely gold-plated, it might feel too ostentatious. Having it just be the gold bezel and center links of the bracelet, keep it still something that you could wear every day. You wouldn't have to wear a suit with it. And also, a lot of times, especially when talking about Swiss-made watches, when we see two-tones, we know that the gold is actually solid, not plated. So in a lot of ways, when it's married together like this, it really does look like solid gold with stainless steel.
Now, this is, of course, gold plating, but as Megan said, when you see a gold-toned watch, you don't instantly think it's solid gold. You question, could it be? 9 times out of 10, when you see a gold bezel and the gold center links, on most high-end watches, they are solid gold. Here, keeping the price point very affordable, they've used 18 karat gold plating, and it's giving you all the look without the cost. $89.99, only $18 gets it home. But some of you are sending in a request for some more sporty watches. Well, don't worry, we have you covered. Look at the Wenger Commando. Megan and I are going commando.
That's right.
Whoa.
One of us is. 349-861. The 43 millimeter Commando. This one, I see a lot of that Victorinox Swiss Army influence in this one, actually.
I see Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry, just if you were from Florida, you look for hidden Mickeys everywhere.
That's funny.
Take a look at the 43 millimeter Commando and realize this watch looks and wears slightly larger because look how thin the bezel is. And notice that the rehat, that is that ring that runs all the way from the crystal down to the dial. That's that ring right there. It makes the dial look so much broader because there's your dial running from marker indice to marker indice. But because the rehat draws the eye all the way to the edge, the watch looks larger than 43 millimeters. It's not. All Swiss made. And look at the chronograph function that you have right there. Now you have small seconds that are constantly running at the 3 o'clock position, but there's your start, your stop, and of course your reset. Now, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to slip this on the wrist. I want you to see how well this watch wears. Now let's just stress while we're here, it's a $445 watch. You're getting it at midnight on Monday, $169. But for the show and for the holiday weekend, $139.99, only $28 gets it home. Look how nice that looks. You know why I like this one?
Why?
Because when you think of Swiss Army, you think of these colors. Think about the Swiss Army knife. You may have just a touch of black, the silver, of course, the blade. The red usually is the handle itself. And this, to me, just has, it has a very much a Swiss Army look. And notice that even the strap has matching red stitching that runs all the way through it. Generous amount of strap. If you have much larger wrists than I do, ready to cinch it down even tighter if you have a smaller wrist, and it sits on the wrist so well. All right, folks, $28 gets it home. Go ahead. There's still 50-something minutes left in the program. Still enough time for the new watch, for the new you, for the new year.
Okay, check this out. The Aerograph cockpit. This reminds me of something that has that instrument style design we would have seen with Bell & Ross.
Well, Bell & Ross.
For literally a fraction of the price. Like the decimal point moved over 2 places.
You are absolutely correct. Bell & Ross.
This is so
What they
cool.
do is they go and they have something called the instrumentation collection. And they've pulled the instruments out of aircraft and then taken their inspiration for that. Now, there's no proprietary lock on what aviation instrumentation looks like. So you're going to have several different manufacturers. They're going to pull from that aviation inspiration. Now, part of that is the clear visibility of the Arabic numerals are from aviation inspiration, from the timekeeper inside of an aircraft. But it is the shape of the case that many of you who are pilots will recognize as part of the plug-and-play instrumentation that goes inside of an aircraft. And that right there looks like a lot of pilots are going to see. And if you love aviation or you are a pilot, this is a great watch to buy for yourself or to give for someone as a gift. Again, all Swiss made, and even though it has that look, it's not a thick watch. Notice that you have in the case that brushed finish with the hexagonal bolts that are holding the multiple piece case together, as well as that high mirror polished shine on the bezel. Notice you have a date complication at the 6 o'clock with a Cyclops window. Now, let me put this on the wrist. You can tell me what you think. I think it's going to look great.
I love this watch.
I
love
too.
these Wengers. I guess I haven't really spent enough time on our website exploring all of our collection. I mean, all the different collections we have from Wenger.
This is why we encourage people to go to the website regularly. You're going to always find new additions, but there's so much there. It really takes some hunting to find the watch of inspiration. Yes, it's easy to go to the things that we go to all the time, but sometimes you have to be a little inspired.
Now it looks like it wears on the wrist like a 43, 44 millimeter, maybe a 44 millimeter, because it is a long flat case.
But comfortable.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like how it feels on the wrist. I like how it looks too. Now the watch wears slightly larger than that 43 millimeter size, but you know what? It's not oversized, it's not uncomfortable. I like Bell & Ross, but
those are big.
They're big watches.
This one has that beautiful dial too. You can see that the sheen from that sun ray dial. Isn't that gorgeous? In some lights, it almost has a touch of amber to it.
Yeah, I think
and then
it's
the
gorgeous.
cross stitch on the leather strap is beautiful. These are really great watches. It's kind of interesting that they're all Swiss made. I mean, I'm always surprised when we have the Victorinox watches on our program, how low our prices are, plus the payments. So think about this for a moment. You want to get into a Swiss-made watch. You want something new. For under $20 a month using the payments, you can get a $300 Swiss-made watch.
You notice that even integrated into the case, they've used a crown protector to help ensure that that connection from the outside world to the inside does not get damaged. And that little bit of raise right there is what protects your crown. If your watch doesn't have that, it should. That's just for those watches that maybe are going to be for the athletic lifestyle, the active lifestyle, that's the way to go. 349862, $89.99, $18 gets it home. It's the new watch for the new you for the new year.
This next one, I love this. I had no idea we had so many new Vengers in the lineup tonight. This is the Squadron. If you love blue like I do, this is a good option. 43 millimeter. It's nice that they're all a bit larger than the Victorinox Swiss Army watches we air.
Yeah, some of those are kind of smaller.
349863 is the item number. Let's take a look at this.
Now, I think this just is, it's such a guy's watch.
Well,
I
maybe
really
you could
like
try it on in just a moment.
I will. You just wait and see.
All silver tone on the 43 millimeter case. You can see it looks like a fixed bezel, but it's got a unidirectional movement to it. And that's kind of cool because you can see it's so flush against the case. And with the coin edge machining, it's one of those that you expect it not to move, and yet it does. And because it is so flush against the case, they want to make sure you could still use it while swimming and diving. They've actually included those notches at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions, almost like little grips or handles on the bezel there. Notice the tiny little piece around that start-stop for your chronograph. Let me start that and show you. They use a lot of Swiss-made Ronda movements. This is, again, a Swiss-made Ronda 515 quartz chronograph movement inside, so you do get a 12-hour totalizer. Yes, you could actually run your chronograph. I wouldn't advise it, but you could run your chronograph for a full 12 hours and it would accurately keep time. I am such a fan of blue. If you're looking for something that is an ultimate sport watch, something to wear to the gym, something to wear to the beach, perhaps this is the style for you. And just like we see on all of them, there is that engraving on the case back as Wenger, owned by Victorinox, but the two of them together make up the Swiss Army knife collections. Why don't you try this on, Wiley, if you don't mind?
Such a nice watch. And I think what people are going to appreciate when they get it is they've used such a soft silicone strap that it's going to be like, wow, I've been wearing this forever. Some watches you have to break in, not this one. The moment you get it on, you realize that is incredibly comfortable. Now, I happen to have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, this 43 millimeter Squadron. You know, I think of the Blue Angels. Have you ever seen the Blue Angel flight team? This is that color blue that just stands out. So when I hear the word Squadron, I kind of think of the Blue Angels, and this watch kind of is reminiscent of that. There's something kind of industrial about that coin edge and each one of the indices that's around the bezel. And then, of course, as the eye is drawn in, just having that black circle with the 3 subdials, there's something very instrumentation-like. And, of course, as you see the lines running through the Arabic numerals, those are very much military-inspired. Folks, $32 to get a Swiss-made watch home. It's only $159.99, and you're going to love this color combination. Now, if some of you that need a watch need to wear to the office, you need something that'll dress up quickly, you would like to have a GMT, Megan, look at this. This is the perfect watch for Colin.
With that secondary time zone.
You know, you guys like to travel. This is one of those watches you can tell by the color of each one of the Arabic numerals that is Swiss Superluminova, and it's a generous amount. Now, you also have a GMT hand. You'll notice that the primary time is at the 10 o'clock position, but right at the 11 o'clock, you'll see the diamond-shaped hand, which is your secondary time zone. Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, is your standard for a secondary time zone.
And that actually corresponds right in here to this 24-hour chapter ring. So you'll actually view your secondary time using that inner ring. So right now, it's actually set for the same time. Do you see that?
Correct.
It's actually set for both of them to be reflecting 10:10. So you could have it set for the military equivalent, or you could completely have this set for a different time. Like your son is in a different time zone than you are. My best friend lives on the West Coast, so I would have that set for LA time.
Well, the convenience here is for those of you that, if you don't need a secondary time zone, you just use it as an AM/PM indicator, and it will track the time, because this is showing that this is 10:10 p.m. But if you set it to any other setting on here, it becomes your secondary time zone. It is also accompanied by a date complication, that same sort of coin edge, and this time a beautiful bracelet. Now, I realize that that high mirror polish on there is certainly going to be an attention getter. Look at that. That is beautiful. Let me slip this on the wrist. Notice I'll undo the safety clasp. I will open that up. By the way, this has micro adjustments and a diver's extension. Madam Director, come back there just for a second. I just realized right here, whenever you see a watch, it has these additional holes.
Little micro adjustments?
That's it, so you don't have to remove a link. Sometimes we gain or lose a little weight. I couldn't think of the word lose because that's not in my vocabulary. But if you go diving, which this watch is certainly capable, all you have to do is give a snap and a pull, and it expands it to go over a wetsuit. That's an added value in the watch. If you have somebody in your world that loves to dive, that's a great way to add that feature. Now let me show it to you on the wrist. By the way, this really does look good.
Now this is our last vendor. If you've missed any of this, you can go to WorldofWatches.com. Just search for the Shop TV Deals page. And if the stress-free payments are not showing up for you, we do sincerely apologize. You're welcome to call customer service and they will give you the payment option. Or you can shop tomorrow during the day, as we have extended the deals until tomorrow night at midnight.
Look at that. That looks so good. This is a watch you can wear to the office. It'll dress up and head out to dinner. You can imagine that being, just peeking out under a cuff, and you have that bright work coming through on those center links. You have light reflecting off of that coin edge. But then if you t-shirt and blue jeans or hiking shorts and you're ready to go cross country, maybe you're on a bike tour, maybe you are backpacking, maybe you're heading on a cruise and you need a watch that can go from the captain's table to being out there on the water. Well, here's your watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
For $129, and no apologies on a Swiss-made watch made in Delamont, Switzerland. And of course, when the lights go out, you're going to know exactly what time it is. Folks, $26 is what it takes to get it home. $129.99. What a beautiful watch. I think it looks nice.
Speaking of beautiful watches, we've got to go back to air our hot picks of the night. And actually, your hot pick, well, both of them, I should say.
Really?
They are the best sellers tonight. Absolutely going crazy.
Boy, and these are going bye-bye, because the moment we've done the world debut of these, people just really responded to them. Now, you hope to have a hit. You hope to have a watch that's going to be a big seller. And you never know which watches are going to be the ones that just hit it out of the park. Well, once again, the Daredevil is it. Now, I'm going to unscrew that crown, which allows me then to have access to the time or the date complication. And I'm going to reset it to our traditional way of showing watches, which is at 10:10 or so. And, that's at 11. I guess time's like. The shorter shows, just time flies now.
It really does.
Which is why you have to tune into our midweek shows. It's why you have to go to the website. We want you to make sure you're taking a peek at what's going on. Now, what I love about the watch is, when I hit that, you can see our chronograph go into play. Now, watch what happens when I hit this at the 6 o'clock position. Yes, that's a 1/10 of a second totaler. That tells me this is the ISA 8371C. The C gives you your 1/10 of a second totaler at the 6 o'clock position. Notice it's a multi-layered dial, that sandwich-style dial. At the bottom part, you have kind of a silver-white, almost kind of a carbon fiber-esque pattern. Then the next layer happens to have the sub-dials. Then you have that plate that has each one of the dot marker indices. And if you tilt the watch back, you'll notice at the highest point on the crystal itself, etched 12, 3, 6, and 9. You have a tachymeter scale running all the way around the rehat on the watch. And of course, this is all Swiss made. Now, if you think this looks great on the hand, let me show you the all blacked out version.
Which is the best seller right now.
Unbelievable. I would not have
We've
known.
only got about 24 of these remaining, and that's it.
Folks, if you can get these, this is to your benefit, because once we run out, it may take a while before these come back in. I cannot guarantee when they'll be back. Now, I want you, while you can get it, to get it. Get while the getting's good. This is not something you want to delay on. Please trust me on this. Look at that. I think this is a great looking watch, and for many of you out there, it's going to be a fantastic looking watch. Megan really likes the all blacked out version. There is your Swiss Legend shield embedded into the silicone strap. Notice how everything that's in white on that dial just stands out against that black background. Which one do you like better? That's a matter of personal taste. I happen to like the white silver.
I like the all black.
Megan likes the all blacked out version. Both are in the bestsellers list, both still available, and you have just a little bit of time before the show is over tonight.
Well, my hot pick of the night goes to Michael Kors. I had this as my hot pick last night on the program. I love it so much, I wanted to bring it out again tonight. The 40 millimeter Brinkley from Michael Kors, 283056. The luxury look here is really just absolutely incredible. You can't beat this. First, the deal. We're talking about over 50% off. You're under $200 here on a $400 Michael Kors style. Check out the dial color. It's that rich, almost Mediterranean blue, and then in some lights it looks a bit more navy. You've got all channel set baguette style crystals, and they're all set to look like diamonds around that bezel. And then notice what I see is a bit of that Breitling inspiration, almost that aviation design, much like those watches we saw earlier that make it appear as though you'd see instruments inside the cockpit. You've got what looks like a slide rule bezel. You've got the 3 subdials at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. And then this rich two-tone, silver tone and rose gold plating all the way through that bracelet. Single fold deploying closure, nice slimline design. You can see you've got a screwed in case back, and get this, you've even got 50 meters of water resistance. So while this is not a watch that you would wear swimming and diving, this is definitely a watch that you can practically live in. You don't really have to worry too much, especially even if it's at least 50 meters. If it was 30, I'd say maybe just wash your hands and such. But with 50 meters of water resistance, you could definitely go in the pool with this. 283056, 4 payments of $47.50. Now, we're going to do a couple mentions now. These are some of our best sellers coming up right now, and they all have very low quantity.
Ooh.
So let's do a quick little mention here of a few items that are going quick.
Take a look at this. This is the Oris we brought out to you earlier by your request, and guess what? It was a hit. The 44 millimeter Big Crown. Now, this style harkens back to the 1930s. It's aviation inspiration, easy to read, low glare, sapphire crystal, exhibition back, 316L stainless steel, gray dial. Now, this is a stunning watch. Inside, the SW, or Salida 200 movement. It's a simple 3-hand, hour-minute continuously operating sweep hand, and a reverse date wheel at the 3 o'clock position. Notice the oversized 12, 3, 6, and 9 gives a clear view of the time, and even at a distance, it's easy to read. This is a bestseller tonight, only $4.99. It will be back up to $11.99 on Monday, but right now, you can still get it for only $125.
Now, this next one, was this the version that you made your hot pick last night?
I believe this is. This is the 50 millimeter flight deck automatic.
There's only 4 remaining of this one, by the way.
By the way, this happens to have a ceramic case. You're going to love how that looks. Inside is the Valjoux 7750 modified to U-boat standards with a custom rotor. You have a 25 joule automatic in there, reverse date wheel at the 9 o'clock position, continuously running small seconds at the 3 o'clock, 2 totalers at the 12 and 6 o'clock. I'm going to kind of call it a bronzy look that it's on the Arabic numerals really does stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, it is kind of bronze.
Now, the light will not show it on this beauty shot. You get just a little bit right there on the minute hand, but it really takes the light to catch it before it kind of lights up. 346347, only $2,100 versus the $7,600 that you pay in the mall. Don't even pay our $499 price. Good heavens, that's still too high. Good price, great price is $2,100, $420. That's all it takes to get it home. 5 stress-free payments.
All right, only 4 remaining of that U-boat.
Now, when people often talk about needing that simple daily watch, a sport
Bulova.
watch.
I always recommend Bulova.
It's one of the watches that goes at 1875. There's nobody alive today that doesn't that has existed before Bulova.
It's never thought about that. 349-816. You know, this is that perfect everyday watch. If you want something that has that luxury look, of course, there's a lot of inspired design here from something you would see in a very high end, like a Swiss-made, a Rolex diver design almost. But overall, the entire diver look, I think, is really popular, especially if you're wearing it to the office or on the weekends. And what's nice is you're under $100 here. If you use the payments, yes, the payments are available this weekend. Just call up customer service. They'll honor that deal. You're under $20. You've probably got the cash for this in your wallet right now. $19, a $250 Bulova ships. 349-816. And what's nice is it's not a teeny tiny size. At 43 millimeters, it's a great mid-range style.
And will be in style for years and years to come. Now, I'm going to show you a beautiful watch that's inspiration goes back to 1947. Nathan George Hurwitz created a watch for Movado with that simple stark dial, with that homage to the rising sun. Now, the 21st century version, they've turned that dial from black to white, mother of pearl, added diamonds, and look how beautiful it looks with Megan's manicure.
Thank you, Wiley. This is such a lovely, delicate, feminine timepiece. It really has so much beauty to it in such a petite case. And what's nice is everybody recognizes Movado, and that's not why you would get it, but it's one of the most recognized watch looks in the watch world. As Wiley said, this is a design that's been around since the early 1900s. You can see here where they did replace that matte black dial with that mother of pearl, and then notice the diamonds all the way around the dial. You've got 9 diamonds for your hour markers. I love the symmetry. No continuous ticking hand. It's just hour and minute hand. And then a 30 millimeter case. That's about 7 millimeters in slimness. Integrated bracelet. Notice the subtle polishing all the way around. And then it's a pry apart clasp. It's very, very streamlined. The watch feels very aerodynamic, if you will. There's no extra edges, no add-ons, no nothing. It's almost one piece all the way around. And notice how slim it is. This is incredibly elegant. This is truly a sophisticated style. You know, it's a $1,600 watch. That's a lot of money. At $540, that's a lot of money for most of us to get watches anyways, am I right? But what about if you do allow yourself to buy a new watch every month? Maybe you spend between $100 to $200 a month on your watch hobby or your jewelry hobby, whatever it is that you like to shop. What if for the next 4 months, instead of buying one new item a month, you bought a $1,600 watch at $135 a month? That's what you can do tonight. You can put $135 down, and yet we ship you tomorrow a $1,600 Movado. This is a perfect example of how you don't need to wait for an anniversary, a milestone birthday, a graduation to get that luxury watch for yourself or for someone else. You can just get it tonight for $135. Brand new in its original packaging, $290,387.
Now, if that Movado was just maybe it was out of price point, I want to show you a watch that's just a little less money, but really has a bold look to it. In fact, it's the 36 millimeter Bold by Movado. The white ion that you're seeing here, this is ion plated stainless steel. The white ion plated stainless steel really has such a great, unusual look to it. I want you to see that right there. That's a great shot. Notice how the crystal almost seems to spill over, wrap over, and connect to the case. Look at that. Megan, can you see that right there? How it looks like it's almost embedded on top of?
Oh, wow.
It's almost like it has been melted onto the case. Now, to me, I think this is such a beautiful watch. In fact, I want Megan really to show this off to you. You're going to love the look of how they fancifully played that homage to the rising sun. The pink hands on the watch. Now, here's what's great. This is all soft touch, soft texturing right here. The center links are solid, almost like a ceramic material. But the edges are all in this soft, I guess it's more of a
it's like a rubberized coating, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to see it. But Megan, just take this, and I think when they see this on your wrist, they're going to love how this looks and feels.
This is actually perfect with what I'm wearing, huh? Because I've got the
yeah,
popping top on. You know what's nice about this is it's very, very sporty. Because of the rubberized coating on the bracelet, you don't have to worry about this being a bracelet watch that scuffs and scratches. It's just rubber. It almost feels like a silicone all the way around it. And then look at how beautiful, as Wiley pointed out, look at that crystal. The way it sits up almost like a jewel on top of that case. And can you see that the inner edge, that re-hot ring inside the dial, do you see how that's hot pink? As well as that concave dot design. Well, it's not really a concave dot here. In fact, it's all crystal encrusted. How sweet is this? So feminine, so fun. This is perfect for the lady that does not need a dressy watch. She does not want the classic sophisticated style in a Movado. She wants the Movado look, but you want something a bit more fun, a bit more high fashion. This is a great watch. I also love the size, 36 millimeters. I call this the Goldilocks size. It's not too big and it's not too small. It's just right. Bracelet is a little short, no larger, I would say, than a 7¼ inch wrist for this style. 200-583, $90 it ships. Use the stress-free payments. Call in to our customer service department. They'll give you the stress-free payments. 200-583.
Well, apparently it's ladies' night here at World of Watches, because I have a lovely design that I think this is one that I could see you wear this in a heartbeat, Miss Harris. I mean, we'll leave that white one right off to the edge there in case you want to do any sort of comparison. But take a look at this Molko 42 millimeter blue marine. Now, you want to see mother of pearl on the dial? Absolutely stunning looking. Now, when I look at this, I just think of, it looks like Techno Marine.
Yeah, it does have that Techno Marine look. You know what I always think? I'm not crazy about Molko watches when we air them sometimes. Sometimes they're just a bit too overdone for me.
They can be very detailed.
This is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, to hold him up, if you want something a bit more of that classic look from Movado, definitely go for something the iconic but still fun Movado Bold. This one, though, we're talking about a bigger case. It's a beefier case. Notice the maritime design here, how you've got that rounded case, almost like a donut-shaped case, and then the sides of it, even though it's one piece, it almost appears as though they're soldered on. Massive bezel, unidirectional, with a nice white enamel piece under there. And then, yeah, that dial, genuine AAA grade white mother of pearl. So elegant, so clean looking. I love mother of pearl. I've got mother of pearl on my watch right now, but it's black mother of pearl. Inside is a Swiss-made Ronda quartz chronograph movement. It's the 5030D collection. I love all the detail, the machining around the screws, the machining around the screw-down crown, the two-piece pushers. And then notice the interesting design. Notice how the lugs are a bit shorter and slimmer than the rest of the case. And then they attach that silicone strap. You can see it's a custom lug design with that silicone strap on there. 187-864. You know what else is nice is you might be thinking with the case, it looks like it's going to be really, really tall. It appears as though it's going to have a bulky presence to it. Check this out on my 6-inch wrist. I would wear this watch all day, every day. You know, I'm always after sport watches that I can dress up or dress down because I like to dress mostly casual, but I still like to look put together. You know, I use that term sometimes, athleisure. That's that style of fashion that's really popular today, especially with women's fashion, where workout clothes are being designed in such a way that you could wear them to the gym or you could wear them out to dinner. And so that's kind of nice with a watch like this. You could wear it to your yoga class, your Pilates, wear it to the beach, but just as easily you could wear it out for date night. So I really like that in a watch. I like that versatility. Even if I have a ton of watches, which I do, I always like to buy watches that can sort of pull double duty. I can wear them to different things. 187864 Swiss-made Ronda movement in there, and 100 meters of water resistance.
Take a look at this. The 47mm chronograph by Mulco. This is in all rose tone gold over stainless steel. Now, it's a variety of finishes from satin finish to high mirror polish. And you'll notice that this ring right here, which is kind of an elevated, almost like an elevated rehaut, it's a bezel under glass, if you will, is under the crystal. I mean, this normally it would be, you know, just all metal and it would be exposed. Instead, it's under the crystal. And I think it just adds such a great look. They have etched into the back of the crystal each one of the marker indices. Now on the dial, of course, you have the hour, the minute. You have continuously running small seconds at the 2 o'clock. Then you have your chronograph function. This will be your start, your stop, and your reset. They give you a date complication at the 4 o'clock, a day complication at the 6, and on the inside, Swiss movement inside of this Mulco. That is pretty impressive. Dual push button, and that's a single scissor there, and it's a pry apart on the other part. So it's a dual push button, dual scissor deployment, which makes it very easy to put off and on. There is the Mulco Shamrock there on the back, which will let you know that's authentic Mulco. And let me try it on the wrist. Tell me what you think. Megan, I really like how this looks. It's very understated.
You know what's interesting is, yeah, it's all done in rose, so you expect it to be very flashy, but because it's all done in a brush finishing, and then I like the fact that the bezel is a satin brush, so there is a bit of sheen to it.
Oh, absolutely. And then the little parts just here and there of high mirror polish are just, you know, just a little bright point for the watch. Now, I think you're going to love how this looks, and I think you're going to love how it wears. This is one of those watches, again, you want to go and find Mulco in the mall at one of those kiosks, $375 day in, day out. Not for you. $224 on Monday, $139.99 right now with free shipping, 30-day money-back guarantee, and only $35 gets it home. Now, this is, again, it has a look like Techno Marine. It looks like a lot of the other sport luxury watches out there, and certainly at a $400 price point, it would easily pass for any one of the other higher-end sport luxury watches. Look at that splash of color built into that
beautiful. It almost looks like a
case.
piece of pearl.
Look at that. Can you see that splash of light blue coming through there? And it's this corrugated finish that's, you know, kind of contrasting against the black IP plating. And then look at the dial. And do you see how it almost looks translucent?
I like it. Sorry, I was distracted because that's a secondary time zone.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, really cool.
This is just one of those watches that you can see a lot of detail has been put into the design. It is fun. It is an easy-to-wear watch, and it's a great addition to your collection.
I like the bubbled bezel. Looks like little bubbles on there.
Well, you know, this watch looks like it needs to be out on the water. Mm-hmm. You know, it really does. And it goes very well with the other Mulco that you have over there.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll try that on.
And I'm going to slip this on the wrist very quickly, and then I'd love for you to see it. Maybe compare the other Mulco in case people need to see an idea of size. So I would wear this.
I'll try it on after you because I know a lot of ladies that still like even bigger watches than the 42mm one I had. So maybe that 46 would go for them.
And see, I feel like this is very Miami, it's very LA, it's very cosmopolitan, it is very contemporary, it's very sporty. It's one of those that I think people, I mean, I have a lot of watches, maybe 2 or 3 that have white straps or bands on them, and it just, they always look good. You
know, I actually only have one watch with a white strap, and I really like wearing it because it really does stand out. You can sort of tell, it does make you look tan, but you can sort of tell also when you're wearing a white watch, you almost feel like everybody's noticing it. This is the exact watch that Wiley just tried on Notice how it's got a completely different personality once it's on my wrist, but yet it fits all the same really well. And you could have under a 6-inch wrist. In fact, you could have under a 5-inch wrist, really, with that generous strap. Or check this out, an 8-inch wrist. So there's a lot of wiggle room on a style like this. 46 millimeters, and yet it fits like a glove. It fits so well. Of the two, I still like this first one because I like the mother of pearl dial. But if you want something that's a bit more casual and a bolder look, go for this one. Sort of looks like a Reese's peanut butter cup in the side, right?
I like the, ooh,
187-881, right? Doesn't it look like that?
I have a deep need to put that in the refrigerator now.
Moving on, how about a classic look? Gonna have to go from kind of the crazy sporty looks to something a bit more office appropriate, right?
How do we have any Kirkwoods left?
I know, you would have thought around the holiday time we sold them all.
We paid the mortgage on the Boulevard building by selling Kirkwoods because we were one of the most popular places to get them because look at it, it's a $1,900 all Swiss-made watch. And when you sell them for like our price now, $409, it's easy to see why people beat a path to our door to get these watches. I want you to notice that etched in the back of the sapphire crystal is the Bulova AccuSwiss name. And yes, that's full skeletonization and exhibition back on the watch. You can see all the way through it. Now when you tilt it just right, look at how the light catches it, and you can see every element of that watch. Anything that's unnecessary has been removed. Notice the high mirror polish on the sides, contrasting with a little bit of satin finish. 3-hand configuration, and because they put a generous amount of Swiss Superluminova on there, you're able to see it not only in daylight, but at night. So if you step into a dark theater, maybe you're in an elegant event, and the lights go down, don't worry, you can still see the time. Notice the curvature, even when I do nothing. The strap automatically takes the shape of the wrist. Showing you the back of the watch, there is the custom rotor. There is the screw down back that's going to help add to the water resistance on that watch. Now you have sapphire crystal, of course, 100 meters of water resistance. Look at that custom rotor with the Accutron logo etched into it. Beautiful. But where does this watch look best? On the wrist, either for a gentleman or a lady. When I put it on my wrist, it becomes the perfect gentleman's watch. It is the right size, it is comfortable, it is a great look. Now look at that, 40 millimeters. Now because of the strap blending flawlessly into the case, it wears just a little bit larger, so don't worry if you think the size is too small. But what I think you're going to really love is, ladies, the beauty, and see, look at that. That's a good size watch on the wrist, no apologies whatsoever. But I want you to see how well this becomes a lady's watch the moment it's on a lady's wrist. It's that size that transcends gender. It really does, because it really could be a guy's or a lady's watch.
And it is so incredibly comfortable to wear. Now, there are multiple colors of this watch available, color combos, I should say. This is perhaps the most classic, and I think even the most masculine. I know that we've had the rose and brown versions before. Oh, we actually have other styles that are rose and brown coming up. But this is one of those collections where, gentlemen, you wear it with your suit, you wear it with a pair of khakis on the weekend, and ladies, we can wear it. I have a blouse top on. It looks perfect with this. It really goes. 331896, notice the side profile too. Wraps around. Being that it does have an automatic movement inside, it's nice that it's lightweight and slimline too. 331896, Sellita SW200 automatic movement inside. Sapphire crystal on that front-facing crystal as well. Now this one features a modified Sellita SW500 movement. 305506, the 41 millimeter Murin collection. This is an interesting blend of contemporary design and Bulova's vintage looks.
This is that watch. At the moment you see it, the moment you pick it up, you think one thing: solid gold. It is the style, it is the construction of the case, it is the feel, and it has such a great look. And of course, when you realize it's a Bulova AccuSwiss, it's a Bulova building watches since 1875, you have that look I mean, often the solid gold watches are not going to be the largest watches out there because the material is a precious metal. So by putting this at a 41 millimeter size, it becomes more realistic that this is a solid gold watch. It's not solid gold. It's 18 karat gold plating over stainless steel, but it certainly has the look and the feel. What you don't have is the price. Now, is it an expensive watch? You better believe it. It's a $2,200 watch, almost $2,300, but you're able to get it for $629 tonight. Now, realize with that SW500 movement, which is a 25 joule automatic, you're getting a fully functioning chronograph. You're getting 3 eyes for the chronograph, a day and date complication. It is beautiful. Still available to you, $629.99, $126. That's all it takes to get it home. 305506. How about this?
From Techno Marine, 347476. You know, Techno Marine watches are not cheap. They are sold in the major department stores. But this full-size 46 millimeter Cruise Sport at $130, and with the stress-free payments, you're just over $1 a day. You know, I know that you like to run on the beach.
Yes.
I could see you wearing a watch like this on the beach.
Oh, easily. This is one of those watches, because of the materials, it's ready to be out there in the wild, particularly water. Techno Marine loves being near the beach, whether you are surfing, whether you are water skiing, whether you're on the boat, whether you're swimming, whether you're diving. Their watches just seem to be great partners for such.
Yeah, it's cool. Look at their logo is actually, it looks like a shark's tooth.
And you'll notice this is 200 meters of water resistance. And look how easy it is with those colored hands against that background to see the time. Now, you have a continuously running small seconds at the 3 o'clock position, the hour, the minute, and Megan just activated the chronograph hand. Now, that's minute totalers there at the 9 o'clock, and you have a traditional date wheel at the 6 o'clock position, which makes it very easy to read against that black background. Notice that everything on this watch you can read at a glance. Start, stop, and of course reset right there.
I'll try this on when you're done.
Really? Mm-hmm. Do you like this one?
I do. I like Techno Marine watches in general. This is a bit masculine, maybe for my personal style, but there is something I want to show off on this watch actually. And you'll have to come to the case back. You always steal my buffer cloths.
I'm sorry.
Okay, here you go.
I'm trying to keep them dry.
Check this out on the case back. Each Techno Marine has its own individual serial number. You'll also see stainless steel, as Wiley pointed out, it's 200 meters of water resistance. And then you get these quick release pins. Now you'll notice here, these quick release pins, just using your fingernail, you can actually pop off the silicone strap. That's because you might not have realized this, but underneath this black case, that's a black rubberized coating. You can actually take this case off. I hope I'm trying to keep this in frame while doing it. Sorry if I go a little bit out there. Screw the crown in. So now, look at what you've got here. You've got arguably, and then it's very easy, it might just take me a second to do it. It's very, very easy to put these straps back on using the quick release pins. Now, look at the style that you've got. A completely different watch look right here. Simply, again, I'm sorry if I'm moving it out of frame, I just needed to move it to get it. Look at that. I took off the silicone ring, and now, check it out. It's a bit of a different look. It looks smaller, right? Because now it doesn't have that big rubberized case guard over it. It's a completely different watch.
I think I love the fact that Techno Marine gives you options with the watch, and boy, is that just a clever way of giving you options.
And I think it's nice because if you were wearing this while exercising, if you were wearing this while swimming and diving, I would definitely keep the case guard over it. You know, you wouldn't want to scratch up the polished steel. But if you were just wearing this on the weekends, or you went on a vacation and you figured, hey, I want something different for a nighttime look, you can show off that steel. And you guys saw, I just did that. It does not you have to be an expert to know how to do it. You just use your fingernail, pops off the strap, the little quick release pins, and it fits. So that's really cool that with the cruise collections, you always get a lot of interchangeability. Some of the cruise collections even come with additional straps and case guards. This is item number 347476. 4 payments. Use the payments. Call customer service. They will honor the payments, and we will have all of these prices good through tomorrow at midnight. Because it's a holiday weekend.
Let me show you a very dressy sport watch from Technomarine. This is the 45mm Manta. Now, many of you want your watches on a stainless steel bracelet. Well, I've got a bold bracelet. This is one of the heaviest Technomarines I've ever held, but not uncomfortably so. It just lets you know that it has not spared any expense on that stainless steel and construction. As you look into that dial, you're seeing that you have not only the hour and minute, but a continuously running small seconds at the 3 o'clock position. 2 totalers for your chronograph. Simply hitting that pusher is going to be your start. Notice you have a 1/10 of a second, your seconds, and your minute totaler. There's your start, your stop, and of course your reset right there. Date complication between the 4 and 5 o'clock, and the watch really does have some pretty hefty construction. That is a solid rotating bezel. There is a solidity to that. Once again, a screw down back to help add to the water resistance on the watch, which is 100 meters. Let me show you the watch on the wrist, and then I'm going to show you another version that dresses this up very quickly.
Check this out. Our friend Bobby just sent in a photo at Wow TV Chat. He's got a wristy of him wearing a Technomarine watch as well. How cool is that?
That's a nice one. That's the one that has the carbon on the dial. Look at this. Now, yes, you're getting a peek of the one I like even better.
The dressier one?
Yeah, it is. That just really stood out because the two-tone you sold me on your sales pitch earlier. Now, here it is. Remember, this is a $560 watch you're getting for $139. It's brand new in the box, full warranty, Technomarine. Look it up online. You're going to drop your teeth when you realize that we've got these at the lowest price possible. Take a look at this one. This is the gold tone and stainless steel. All right, this is the winner tonight.
Wow, this is a flashy style.
This does not look like Technomarine. This
No.
looks like Technomarine's flashy brother showed up. Look at this. Again, that 100 meters of water resistance. You've got the unirotating bezel. This time you've got 18 karat gold over stainless steel and stainless steel. This one, to me, is easy to, this is one you can wear to the office, you can wear this to the beach, you wear this on vacation, you wear this wherever you want to. Generous amount of bracelet. It's one of the watches that's an incredible, comfortable fit.
Bracelet's gorgeous. Can you go back to the bracelet for a moment?
Sure.
Notice how you've got these subtle beveled edges?
Yes.
And then it adds a bit of dimension because they go from polishing to brushing and then into the gold. So you'll notice it's not the full silver link that's polished, it's just the outer edge of them. And it's also slightly tapered.
Megan,
cool.
pick up this other watch and just feel the weight of that to
Oh,
realize
wow.
that's a solid watch. This is a watch for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Remember,
Jeez.
folks, there's still an opportunity to get this. It's $139.99, $35. Don't wait for the price to go up to $279. That's just too much money.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, like all good things, this too must come to an end. We want to thank you for spending yet another weekend with us. We so love to share watches with you and bring out great deals. We are extending these deals until tomorrow night at midnight in honor of the holiday weekend. So if you're not working tomorrow, have a wonderful day and you get to shop. If you are working tomorrow, don't work. Go online and shop these deals. Who cares, right?
And we can't begin to tell you how much we love being with you. You've allowed us to come into your living room over and over again, and we always love spending time with you. Thanks for being our friends. We certainly do love you. And as always, thanks for watching with us. But we have a few more things to show you before we say goodnight.
So let's say the best seller is, no surprise here, the Daredevil.
You know, with that ISA 8371C movement inside, that all Swiss-made watch is certainly a stunner at $149.99. It really is a bestseller tonight, and it's brand new world premiere. Let's take a look at another variation of that, just in case that all blacked out version is just a little too much. Take a look at the silver white dial, which was my hot pick tonight, and it has been right behind, tagging right there on the heels of the all blacked out version. $149.99 for stress-free payments of only $37.50 to get it home. Right behind that is the Wenger instrument-inspired watch with all that aviation look. It's the Aerograph Cockpit. This is a watch, whether you love aviation, you're a pilot, you name it, it really looks good. It's all Swiss made from Wenger, and it's only $89. That's right, brand new in the box. $18 gets it home.
I love that watch. Another collection from Wenger. Glad to see these are doing so well. This is the Escort $349,842, $80 for your first payment of $16. This is the silver tone with the black dial and then that light tan suede strap. Swiss made watch with a Swiss made movement inside. Modified cushion shaped case, $349,842. Coming up right behind that, we did not get a chance to air this watch live, but if you've ever watched the show before, you know this is one of my favorite Bullabus. 272-795, also a vintage military-inspired design in a 42mm cushion-shaped case, black dial, brown leather strap, $110 for your first payment of $22.
Take a look at this Techno Marine that has a dual personality. Yes, that black coating can simply be snapped off of there, and you have a beautiful stainless steel watch underneath. Beautiful in both configurations, and it has the quick release pins on those straps. So if you ever get additional straps, it's easy to change the look at your watch with just a snap of the finger.
From Wenger, the 43mm Commander, bright red dial with the black subdial showing off a Swiss-made quartz chronograph movement, and then the stitched suede leather strap with both black and red. $349,861. 5 payments. You're under $1 a day for a Swiss-made watch. $297,449. $80 for my favorite automatic Lucien Piccard, the Transway. 5-year warranty on that Chinese automatic movement. 5 months at just $16 a month.
Take a look at this from Lucien Piccard. It's the Transway, the 46mm watch in silver case, also comes in gold tone as well. Both of these watches are beautiful. Take a look at the gold tone as well. Both of these are still available. Don't let them get away from you. Please consult our website. It comes in a variety of styles, and you're going to love that watch.
Last but certainly not least, the 45mm Manta, $347,455. 4 payments of $35 for a brand new Techno Marine.
Folks, thanks so much once again for allowing us into your living room. We hope we get to see you again soon, and thanks so much for watching with us. We love you very much.
Bye guys, see you later.